When I first started reading again, I thought the faster I could read, the better. I listened to audiobooks at 2x speed and just tried to get through books as quickly as possible. And eventually I just realized I was optimizing for the wrong thing. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you what actually works. When I first got back into reading books, I became obsessed with audiobooks and reading fast. And that's because my thought process was like, if I read the information faster, then I will become smarter faster. And I didn't realize that I was just measuring the wrong thing. You see, reading speed is only useful whenever comprehension remains high. Reading 50 pages while barely understanding isn't necessarily better than reading 20 pages and understanding all of it. Reading requires more than just recognizing words. You're processing the words, the ideas, how they connect, what the author's arguing, how it relates to what you already know. And whenever you push the speed high enough, you eventually just have less mental bandwidth available for the work. And there's something in learning science called the forgetting curve, which basically if you don't actually apply or use the information that goes in, your brain is actively trying to get rid of things to make room for other things. So a simple way to test this is after you read a chapter, what you want to do is just close the book and then just reflect on 3 key ideas from the chapter you just read. If you can't recall anything, then you're obviously reading too fast. But this doesn't necessarily mean that you should become a slow reader on purpose. There's actually a better way to think about speed. There's this old saying in the military, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And when I was a Marine Corps martial arts instructor, I would teach my students this. Basically, the concept was start off slow and increase speed with proficiency, meaning you start off a technique, you don't start at full speed because whenever you start at full speed, you're gonna make tons and tons of mistakes, somebody's gonna get hurt. But you start at a pace that you can work at and then you build up to something faster because you become more proficient through practice. Speed is usually a result of proficiency, not the thing that creates it. When you first start reading, you're learning how to follow the author's argument, how to stay focused, how to recognize important ideas, and you're learning how to connect those ideas together. And trying to do all that as fast as possible isn't necessarily going to make you better at it. So it starts with understanding what you're reading and then practicing often, and speed comes as a result of all that practice. And don't force it. Let your speed increase as reading becomes easier. When I was learning this, I asked myself, if I have to read slowly, does that mean that I have to read every single word? You see, because I was given the advice to read slower, I thought that that meant I had to read every single word slowly, but that wasn't necessarily true. You can preview the book, look at the table of contents, identify the main ideas, and just spend more time on the difficult sections and move faster through those examples that you already understand. What I'll do is I'll skim through the repetitive parts and then I'll slow down whenever the author introduces an important idea. The goal is not to read every word, it's to understand what matters. And so slow down when something's important or difficult, and then you can speed up when things are obvious or repetitive. Now I don't feel like every book needs to be treated the same way. See, the best reading speed depends on the book and your goal. If you're reading a difficult philosophy book, then you'll probably want to slow down. But if it's like a novel, you can probably move faster. And a self-help book that's repeating an idea you've already understood, you could probably just move on. Some books you're going to want to study deeply. And those books that you're studying deeply, you're going to want to slow down, take notes, and wrestle with those ideas. But that's okay. There's really no correct way to read a book. It's just you modify how you read the book to what your specific goals are. The goal shouldn't be to read as quickly as possible. It should be to understand as much as possible and to increase speed with proficiency. And if you're having trouble even starting a reading habit, I want you to watch this video next because I'm going to share with you how to do that there. Keep learning, keep growing, keep going, and I'll see you in the next one.